Do you feel like our business still kind of depends on us?
Well, the thing is, nobody succeeds alone. We understand how to drive millions in the first 12 months for all the clients implemented it for so far, and how that helps continually drive revenues.
How can they realize that they have that broken system?
And the problem with that is, as well, is apart from it obviously being a fragmented system, when things are fragmented, that means data sharing doesn't happen, so it's harder to make data-driven decisions. What we do is we essentially evolve our systems around the business.
Yeah, not the other way around.
Most people don't know that they've got a broken system. You know, they're paying $1,000 for like a bit of software that nobody's using. If you've not got a system for every aspect of your business, you need to start looking at systems. Everything works better with systems, and it is frustrating. It's just chaos. And
It's really hard to find good talent.
so systems. Systemize your business for your future scalability.
It'll also help when you exit your business. Hi guys, welcome back to the episode. So we're actually filming this one in St. Andrews today. So this is like an extra special one because this is where we're being based in Scotland at the moment. So the last one, if you watched that, we were actually filming that in Glasgow, which was really cool. And we spoke about our rebrand and why we rebranded from Adonis Media to Buderia. And today we're actually going to talk about what we're currently doing. So we're going to talk about running a business while you're traveling and the difficulties that we've found, and especially both of us coming over here together. It's been a while since we've had a family holiday, but it comes at a cost at times, which mum and Tal don't really like. So we're going to deep dive into that today. So what's running fine without us, and what's, not going as smooth as we would hope?
Yeah, so I think from my perspective, anyway, because I focus more on the tech side of things, I'm trying to run my part of the business, I suppose, on a 13-inch laptop, which doesn't have access to the technologies that I use in the office.
Yeah.
So for me, it feels like my arms have been cut off. But the good thing is we have a team and we have a system in place which helps alleviate that to some extent. But it will be good to get back to just to be in control. I think a bit more.
As well, just for the viewers that don't understand, when you're developing something or, even doing front end design, ideally you want to be doing it on the largest computer, which is usually like a 15-inch.
I think
That's what that is.
Yeah, I think I've got like a 27.5-inch.
Yeah, like a big
screen, so
monitor
it's
you
a
want to
big
be
monitor.
doing it on, so that you can get all the aspect ratios right, and then you get it right on a smaller laptop, and then phone from there as well. So I think that's definitely been hard, especially from the design aspect. I think as well, like the podcasts, I anticipated that I was gonna have all the podcasts sorted, so when we came here, like I didn't have to do any of the podcasts. Unfortunately, we had so much to do. We were doing the rebrand and, Kinfan and our clients, and I just got to a point where I couldn't do them because we were just so busy before we came. So hence why we're doing quite a lot here, which is fine because we actually wanted to bring in a bit of that Scottishness into the podcasts. But because we've had so much planned, it's been hard to try and find time to fit fit it in.
Yeah, I think in hindsight, leaving the office for 5 weeks and traveling at this particular time wasn't the best move in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
Because I'm so keen to get on and get things to a point where we could start selling what we've created.
Mm.
And we're so close now to having that system so that we're not constantly working on our own stuff and things like that. Or we are working on our own stuff, but not continually developing our content and things like that. Because once that's in, it should be a case of it being in and just then starting to be tested, which allows us to kind of keep pushing on like we do with our clients.
But I think obviously going through that rebrand has been a bit tough during this time because obviously we're traveling, and then now we have to go through all of the content that we've already done for Adonis Media, which was like we have quite a big library of articles and podcasts and I think we have almost like maybe like 80 articles, and that's just
No,
the
I've got a lot more than that. It's about 280, something like that.
no 80 like blog articles.
No, I've got more than 80 blog articles. I mean, when we were on HubSpot, I think I had about 324. Some of which got binned because, or dumped anyway, because it
It's not relevant
wasn't really
anymore.
relevant. So, but yeah, there is a lot anyway, a lot of content.
Do you feel like our business still kind of depends on us?
Well, I mean, to a certain point, I think it does. I suppose in a lot of cases, I'm kind of the visionary around how things are kind of developing from
Yeah.
Boderia point of view, and how our software and AI and the CRM and the platform and everything all kind of integrates to help both ourselves and our clients prospect, drive more revenue, and that kind of stuff. So I think to a certain point it does, but without us building that platform and implementing that system, it would be so much harder, and we would need a much larger team,
Yeah.
which means we'd have to obviously pay more salaries, which nobody wants to do. So I think to a certain point it does, but we've obviously proven that being away for 5 weeks, the team and the system is working.
Well, I think having a really good, great, our team are amazing and they've managed to get so much done in a short amount of time,
Yeah.
especially with, Kinfair and stuff. It's definitely made it a lot easier for us to actually enjoy our holiday
Mm.
as opposed to having to be like, oh my God, like I've got to work pretty much full time over here while trying to spend time with my family,
Yeah.
not sleeping and all that sort of stuff. Um,
Well, the thing is, I mean, in the past 24 years of running a business, I've that laptop has been with me pretty much, well, not specifically that one, but certainly previous versions of that one has been with me pretty much on every holiday I've ever been on.
yeah,
That includes when I took it to the Maldives, which was pointless because there was no
reception.
internet connection there. But the thing is, it's always been part of my life, and that's how most founders are, especially when you're trying to do things in a bootstrapped manner. If you've not went out and got funding and things, you've got to try and do things yourself, and you need to keep the machine moving. But this was the whole point of moving down this Boderia route and rebranding in the first place, because we've built that platform, we've built the systems, we
Mm.
understand how to drive millions in the first 12 months for all the clients that we've implemented it for so far, and how that helps continually drive revenue. So, it's working, eh?
Mm. Is there anything that you've seen since we've been over here, or like any struggles that you've had since we've been here?
Yeah, poor internet
I was about to
access.
say the same thing. Oh my God, the internet
It's just
it's
horrific.
either really slow or it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like I feel like when you're in Australia, pretty much everywhere you can, obviously unless you're going like outback kind of
Mm,
ways, but pretty much everywhere you get decent reception.
yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not like we're away from some of the main cities and things. But I think because we've got NBN over there, or fibre, I suppose, I just expect things to happen quickly, really fast, and get things done faster. But
Yeah,
here, what would normally take me a few seconds is literally taking about 5 to 10 minutes,
yeah.
and it's frustrating as. But again, this is why it's important to make sure that, especially from a business perspective, that your technology that you're using is hosted on good cloud infrastructure. And we partner with both AWS and Google Cloud, so
Yeah.
that in itself will always help businesses.
What would be your one piece of advice to someone who is a founder and they might be a bit scared to go on holiday and, leave everything to their team?
Well, the thing is, nobody succeeds alone. So if you do have a team and you're lucky enough to have a team, which not all founders do, because in a lot of cases it's just the founder themselves, or they might have some people helping them, some VAs or whatever, and that's fine. It's just try and get yourself organised. If you are partnering with someone like Boderia, for instance, who actually become part of your team, it's not just like Boderia is not just a vendor. We don't just provide the software. We are part and parcel of the team. So everything will still work, and obviously when we're getting the systems in place for that, that's probably what they need to think about, especially for a long-term perspective and scalability, is getting systems in place for to do keep
Keep
the
everything
business
running.
running. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And I think as well, it's don't be scared to reach out to the people around you because, there's been times where our clients have been going through stuff and we're like, all right, well, let us help,
Yeah.
stuff that, we might not typically do for clients, but it's stuff that's like, okay, so what do you need help with? Okay, we can do this for you. You do this. And then we'll go and we'll get it and it'll be fun. That's something that we take a lot of pride in is going that extra mile for our clients.
That's right. And the thing is, that's like gold, that kind of way of thinking, where you want, yeah, it's not just about, you pay me to do this, I'm not helping you with anything else.
Yeah.
That's not how we work.
No.
The way we work is, um, we will help you with whatever needs to be helped with. And if we can systemize it, then we will.
Yeah.
If there's something that we can add to the application, which we know will help save time, save money, and progress and help drive revenue, then we'll implement it, no matter how long it takes.
Yeah.
And that's why having good partners in your business will just make life so much easier for
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. So how for the people out there that they might have a broken system and they don't really know if they have a broken system, but everything's a bit fragmented. They're just trying to grab a tool to fix something and then grab another tool to fix
Mhm.
this. Um, how can they realize that they have that broken system? And what are the first steps that they can kind of take from that?
Well, I think most people don't know that they've got a broken system until someone goes in and has a look to see how the systems are working. I mean, most of the clients that we've brought in, they're paying $1,000 for like a bit of software that nobody's using, another $1,000 for a CRM access for one person, and then they share the multiple logins and all this kind of stuff. They don't know that things are broken until they're not broken.
Mm.
So I think what they need to do is need to really have a look at what opportunities are out there, um, like Board Area as a prime example, and how we do things rather than just trying to um, add other layers and tools to the mix to try and help them do one thing. Because you'll find that a lot of the different softwares all do different things, but some share the same functionality. And the problem with that is as well is apart from obviously being a fragmented system, when things are fragmented, that means data sharing doesn't happen, so it's harder to
Mm-hmm.
make data-driven decisions. Um, the sales and things like that, generally there's no really accountability for who's actually the owner of that particular system.
Mm.
What happens with handover from that system to this system? Who's managing that? And it's just chaos. And that's exactly why Bodega exists, because we've experienced it ourselves as well. Not just the cost involved with having like 20 different tools trying to do different things, but
Yeah.
the time taken to learn it, the time taken to implement it, the fact that it doesn't generally work in favour of the business. And this is one of the things that I think is hugely important when you partner with Bodaria is when you come over to the Bodaria uh, systems, what we do is we essentially evolve our systems around the business
Yeah. Not the other way around.
rather than if someone's going with a CRM like HubSpot or Salesforce or whatever, they take their business and try and squeeze their business into how that system works. I just don't think that's right. I think what needs to happen is the tools and the platform that you're using should be modified and evolved to work
Yeah.
around how your business works. And that doesn't mean that you do that and then that's it. It means that you do that, then you assess it because business changes,
Yeah.
plans change and things like that. So it needs to be agile enough for to change with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the first thing they could probably do is get someone like us, for instance, to audit where the revenue comes from, what tools they use, who's you know if they don't I mean, they'll generally have, even if it's just the founder in the business, that founder will be the marketing team, the sales team,
Yeah,
and everything
wearing multiple
wearing
hats.
multiple hats. So there will be some sort of system in place, but whether that's broken or not, or whether they realise it, is a different matter. So that's why it's always good to get a third party view on how, Bodaria, for instance, can add value to the business.
I think the reason that, well, when Bulgaria actually happened was probably about 3 to 4 years ago,
Yeah.
when we first had that solar client and we went in and we looked at all the systems that they were using, and they were actually spending like almost a grand a month on a system that nobody was actually even using.
Mm.
Nobody was checking in on it. Nobody had actually known and got trained on how to use the system to its full potential. And it was just sitting there. So there you go, just removing that and replacing that tool with something that we implemented into their system for them was saving them 12 grand a year.
Well, in actual fact, there was more than that one system. I think it was about $1,800 a month that we were saving them.
Well,
So,
yeah, because they were paying for something else as well that they weren't
the other
ended up
things,
using
yeah.
as well.
But
So
that's what you find. That's what you find with fragmented tools, and when there's, I mean, if it's just a founder in the business as well, that means they need to learn how to use this stuff, which takes the time away from actually driving revenue and working on the business, and that's exactly why we're here to help.
so what are the kind of first steps that they can take? I think the first thing, if you are somebody that recognizes that, you might be using fragmented tools and you're wondering, how can I coming to use Bodaria, the first step you can do is you can contact us. We can audit your business. We can have a look at what's fragmented, what's not working, what can be done better, and then we can kind of go from there. And the beauty about it is, we can do little little by little. It doesn't all need to be done, in 1 month. And it usually isn't. It usually is, you know, a 3 month to 6 months to start to get things sorted. And then it's, continually optimizing everything that you've got. So while, it might be a case of, you've done your website, your ads, you're all sorted on that aspect. Now it's then looking at your sales process, and then it's, looking at every little bit to see what we can systemize, what we can make things easier for your clients that are going to your website, that are coming to you. How can we give your clients the best experience that they can
Yeah.
have?
And that's what a lot of growth is all about now, is the experience for the customer. That's what helps with retention and expansion and things, which is where a lot of the wins take place.
Yeah.
But you'll find that what pretty much every client that we bring in, they're already spending, two, three, four, five, 6 grand a month on all these different tools and things like that as well. So by bringing in, because we bring our own platform with us, but so by bringing and implementing our platform, we can pretty much eliminate most of the core tools that they've probably used. We
Mm.
get them merged over. Anything that they need specifically for their business, we build
Yeah.
into their system.
Yeah.
In which case, the money. So what they're taking then is they're taking the money that they're already investing in these tools, and they're just reinvesting it in a single governed system, a single governed revenue system, which will help you drive revenue much better than any fragmented tool or service. As Chloe was saying, I mean, once we get the platform and things set up, then we start to look at the tactical side of things, the strategy, and what needs to be done to help you get to the next million, the next 5 million, next 10 million, next 100 million in the next, say, 24, 36 months, whatever that may be. And then we tend to work back for that. And that in itself will show any gaps that need to be rectified in order to get there, because what takes you to 1 million generally won't take you to 5 million. So we just need to make sure that we're always pushing forward.
Mm. So we have gone a little bit off track of the topic of today. But before we wrap this up, is there anything else that you might have struggled with traveling while owning a business? I think the biggest thing is just having a team in place and a team that cares. That's
100%.
something that we have been extremely fortunate with. It's really hard to find good talent, and we've I think we've got the best of the best, and that's why we do have a remote team. It's because, the best of the best isn't just in Australia. They're all over the world.
That's right.
Um, and I think that, yeah, that's been a weight off our shoulders, I think,
Mm.
and allowed us to actually enjoy our holiday.
But certainly, you need to start considering systems. If you've not got a system for every aspect of your business, you need to start looking at systems.
Yeah.
Everything works better with systems. Humans get ill, etc., etc. I'm not suggesting that you need to bin on your team and just go with AI, for instance, but
No.
unfortunately, people do get ill. There's family commitments and things. So but systems can help alleviate all those issues that can come up from an HR point of view. It helps you do things much more efficiently, much more cost effective. So systemize your business for your future scalability.
It'll also help when you exit your business.
Yeah, 100%.
You'll be able to get more money from.
That's right. Yeah.
If you're doing 11 hours, you may as well do some work on there, right?
Yeah, 100%.
But sometimes it's not the best. But I feel like if you have business class, you've got it's like unlimited. Whereas when you're in economy, you've got to pay,
Mm.
like, yeah. Just gives you something to do, makes time go faster. I think that's something that when we went on the train, so we went on the train from Scotland to London, and I thought 4 hours, I'm going to be able to smash so much work out here. Oh my God, it took so long. The Wi-Fi was the worst. It kept cutting in and out, didn't work. Had to use 5G, and then the 5G was cutting out as well. So
That's what happens.
it's a bit hard. Forecast in advance. So, if you're going away for 4 weeks, get as much work done as possible before you leave so you don't even need to worry. So everything's in place. I tried to do that and I probably should have done a bit more because I've still had to do a bit of work here. Not as much, obviously, because we've been very fortunate, but if I had made sure I had all those podcasts done, we wouldn't have to podcast. If I had, made sure everything was done, wouldn't have to do as much work here. But it is what it is.
Well,
That's life.
the thing is, you're no rebranding every week, every month, every year.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've had a lot to deal with at this particular time. So, but once we get back and our new content and messaging and everything all sorted, things should be much more, even more plain sailing, because we'll have our own systems in place to deal with things.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, thank you for listening to our podcast today. This has been another extra special podcast because we're in St. Andrews, which is where we've been based. Yeah, make sure you subscribe to the podcast down below, leave a like, leave a comment, let us know your thoughts, and we will see you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.